should we try to address the complicated nature of what is the channel in general and the challenges, some of the challenges?
Yes, I feel like it's kind of necessary to catch people up to speed of what's actually been going on. Hey friend, welcome back.
Welcome back.
We're sitting down and doing a little Q&A thing this evening. Have we really done this before? I don't know.
I don't know if we've ever done like a me and you only Q&A.
No, I don't think so. We just banter.
We've reached out and asked for some questions on our first episode of our Road to Alaska series, and we're going to try to jump through a bunch of those questions and just share about what this whole experience has really been like. And try to get you up to speed on some of the more complicated aspects of what it's been like to run this channel lately and life in general.
Yeah. Well, we'll see where the questions take us.
Do you want to just jump right into a question? You want to pick a question?
I guess so. How did you get those 6 shots from outside the helicopter? That was impressive.
I'm bypassing that question real quick. How did you enjoy the helicopter?
Oh my goodness. Like, I felt like I was in a bubble, just like floating around up there.
This is the pole without the camera, but I have an Insta360 1X that I put on the end of this, and that's basically a 360 degree camera, which allows you to get some of those perspectives where it erases the selfie stick. So Janelle, we asked permission, thankfully. They said yes. Were you nervous holding this out?
Not really. You said just keep it still.
Keep it still. So we put this out of the helicopter with the Insta 1X on the end, hit record. I could control the recording from my phone from sitting in the back seat. And basically we just recorded, and that allows you to get that perspective where it looks like there's a drone following the camera. I think that was some follow-up questions like, did you get that with a drone or something like that? Nope, just 360 camera. So Insta 360, that's how I got those really cool shots. And this was actually the coolest use case I've ever had for the camera, because I'm trying to think through how to incorporate like a 360 degree camera isn't really that, I don't really know what to do with that, but using it more like a GoPro where you're picking the angle afterwards in post. So you're just picking the angle afterwards. That's what I tried to do in our first episode. And I think it worked pretty well. Didn't distract from the overall video. Didn't feel like I was forcing it.
Just saying though, it looks like we're super close to mountains in that helicopter. And we were.
Here we are. Yeah.
It was mind-blowing.
There's that little moment where like suddenly your stomach drops and you're like, oh, are we supposed to be this close? But we were in good, capable hands.
Pilot was super chill, so that was encouraging. Next question?
Next question.
All right. How has it been not having a toilet and shower in the van? Surprise, we have a toilet and a shower in the van.
We have both those things. And we have a pop-up like expandable change room thing, which kind of gives a little bit of privacy out the back and
blocks the wind.
Blocks the wind. Can I pick a question now?
Sure.
Question that there's several questions of people trying to figure out why we're driving to Alaska in the winter. and this is kind of, it's a little complicated. Should we try to address the complicated nature of what is the channel in general and the challenges, some of the challenges?
Yes. I feel like it's kind of necessary to catch people up to speed of what's actually been going on.
What's actually been going on. So the original idea back in January when we started like actually getting work done on the van was I would make these build videos and have them all done by the day we left, because I kind of felt like if I didn't get them done, then they would just drag on forever. And I really didn't want to be editing build series videos for the rest of my year.
But, I mean, we were just getting so busy building the van, trying to shoot building the van, like get all the footage, and then you trying to edit it in your, free time that didn't exist. And, like, as summer was getting closer and closer, we kind of made the call that, okay, if we're going to actually get the van done and leave on time, we can't be, like, editing and publishing all these videos.
Before we leave.
So we kept filming.
Yeah.
Because that was still important to us to not, like, ditch the project altogether. But, we were just chill with, like, not uploading them right away. And so probably around, like, May, especially June, we were getting off track with real time.
in a pretty big way. To give you a frame of reference, in the build series videos, there's some of those last videos we mentioned several times, like, oh, this is the last week, this is the last days. But those videos are spaced out when I was releasing them by at least a week or so. So there's about a month and a half worth of videos that were all like we're down to our last days, our last 24 hours. And all those videos chronologically took place within about a week and a half, 2 weeks period of time. And I ended up releasing them over about 2 months because I actually didn't start editing those till we actually hit the road to Alaska.
Which also gives you a snapshot of how crazy hectic that last week and a half was and how much we squeezed in.
So this is actually a surprise big reveal. This is Janelle and I in the future.
In the future.
Time travel, chronological
responding
disarrangement.
To questions in the present about the past.
So we did go to Alaska this summer. That's what we did, and those are the videos that we're going to continue to upload on the channel. Some people have just been asking about that, and honestly, it's been a little tough because people have been like commenting, like, "Hey, I lived in this area of Alaska. Stop by, free anytime." And people are like extending amazing hospitality, but we already left Alaska.
Yeah.
And this is probably for me. I didn't know how we were going to do this because the Alaska trip was something that we really wanted to do just for us. Mm-hmm. But then at the same time, I experienced life through a deep enjoyment of making the videos. And it feels like a great payoff to this big build series. And
we kind of talked about that beforehand, how, yeah, we'd love to capture some of the memories that we're making, but it was super important that we also just like had a break and like an actual vacation. And so, yeah, we had a camera around, but oftentimes it was out for a little bit and then we put it away and really just like try to be present in the places that we were. And that was like amazing.
Yeah. So this is us in the fall, in October, responding questions to the first uploaded video, part 1 of the Road to Alaska series.
Which would have been beginning of July.
Which would have been beginning of July and August. So that's just getting up to date on the time frame. I know it's cool when videos are up to date, and I very much look forward to being properly back up to date. I think we're going to be about 6-part series of the Alaska videos.
After Alaska, where are you most looking forward to going in your van?
Where?
That's a good question.
Have we talked about this?
Well, I'm super stoked to go visit my family in Ontario. So we're going to do like the cross Canada trip.
Geography. West Coast, East Coast. Where's Ontario, Canada? What?
You said West Coast, East Coast.
And where did you just put Ontario?
I don't know. I thought you were just doing a very, very general, like, we're going west to east. I think we should cut this out.
We're excited to go see Janelle's family.
We're not going to cut that out. Things you guys liked most about van life that you didn't expect, and things that you liked the least.
We should touch on that one, a little tease after talking about the sponsor of this video.
Sponsor.
Do you know what the sponsor is?
Squarespace.
Do you know why I love Squarespace?
You love Squarespace because it means you can actually make websites even though you're not good at making websites. I don't know.
That is probably the best pitch for Squarespace that you could have done right there.
I feel like you almost are convincing me I could make a website.
You totally could make a website.
I don't know what I put on it.
You could make a website. That's what's awesome about Squarespace. It's a website building platform that's got everything built right into it. And it's really practical to use, and you don't need to have any experience designing websites at all, which is why someone like me can build websites fairly quickly and get them to work and make them look fantastic. They look great on mobile. They look great on desktop. Their themes are really easy to work with. I just launched a landing page for a new workshop that I'm doing. I built the landing page really fast, and what I liked about it is that I can focus more on the content that's on the page versus actually trying to tinker with building the page itself, which is super key.
What's another feature you like?
The way that you can embed images. It's really simple, and you can animate the way they come on to the web page, like fade in, slide up, move over.
Looks super professional.
Looks like someone did some fancy code, some stuff in there to make them come on in a cool way. But you can, yeah, there's all the options right there, and it's very easy and hard to break, which is good for me. If you want to get started with building a website, make sure to use our code to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or
domain.
Let's get back to the questions.
All right, the question was things you guys like most about van life that you didn't expect, and the things that you like the least.
Do you want to take what do you like the most? This is it's interesting to answer questions like this because we have a lot more experience now in the van than it appears in our traveling series. So we're now going off months since July. We've been living in the van, traveling in it full time. So it's hard not to have these questions be the lessons that you learn over multiple months versus the lessons that we learned in the first month. But that I think we could just answer it generally, like what has been.
Yeah, I think what's hard for me about the question is that I didn't expect. I feel like we'd done enough like little traveling that like we were excited about stuff, and it's been awesome.
So then I'll just say it's. I didn't expect how nice the nice things would be.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It is so nice having essentially what feels like to me unlimited power. We don't have to go find outlets.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got solar on the roof. We've got tons of Battleborn lithium-ion batteries where I can run my laptop and charge all my stuff. It's like power is not an issue.
I love that we just like show up somewhere and we're just set to go. Like you don't have to do anything. The like power is already running and the water's already there and our bed's already made and you don't set up camp.
It's something that I didn't expect, but I should have expected because I talked about it with lots of other people that had done extended travel and work out of the van. It is a very interesting dance trying to carve out sections to work intentionally while traveling. I mean, the whole point about building something this nice and going on the road is so you can work from the road. Mm-hmm. That was kind of a priority. Mm-hmm. So that way we could travel extended. But it is like the mental vision of how it's going to go isn't quite lining up with how it's actually going. Like it's just taking a little bit more work to be like,
find that rhythm,
to be productive when your scenery is always changing. And that's half the exciting part. Like that's the joy of having a new office scenery every day. But there is challenges that go along with it that I kind of was romanticizing before we started this whole thing. Okay. Britt Johnson saying, okay, let me get this straight. You've got a cupboard for a popcorn maker, cupboard for the golden stovetop.
Yep. And
a casual slide-out cupboard for your motorcycle. Let's talk about that. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, well, it's not actually a motorcycle. It's
super,
super cool, but it's an electric bike. And
I'm realizing we don't have any footage of us on the bike really at all whatsoever because that was like the fun thing we would do when we would get somewhere and we would just never bother filming it.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't think we have any footage of us cruising on the bike.
But we did make space for the important things, you know.
Yes, popcorn and electric bikes. Rusty Gates, what would you have done differently in your build if you weren't staying in it long term? What would you have left out? Would that have just been the first version of your build?
Well, our previous version was that. It was like a weekend traveler. Though
we've had this van for 4 years. I lived in it for 6 months basically as an empty shell with a very basic bed platform.
And then for about 3 years, we had bed platform with a little bench that you could slide tote boxes under and pallets on the wall.
I think there is a version of like the perfect weekender van where you have some of the extra power things and some of the water things, but maybe the van isn't so like this is definitely a camper van.
Yeah. And I think you wouldn't need as much storage. So then you could make it more spacious, like more open. Mm-hmm.
Maybe a hallway all the way through with a removable bed platform so that way you could actually use it as a full cargo van or something.
But I think we still would have wanted some sort of running water and a base like electrical system, even if we were just doing the weekend thing.
Andrew's asking, what's one thing that you already miss at the beginning of your trip? Now miss already.
Oh, I see. What's one thing you miss already? Yeah, probably like within the first like month, one of the things I missed right away was just like not being able to hang out with my friends and like quick being like, hey, let's go grab coffee or do this thing. And traveling is really fun, but it can get a little lonely. And
yes, the internet has connected us all together and it's great meeting up. We had some amazing experiences meeting up with people on the road, some which you'll yet to see, but there's something special about just that group at home that you just message quick, hey, I want to get together for games. So we missed that a little bit. Mm-hmm. A bunch of people were asking, how do you upload your videos when you're not near Wi-Fi or cell? You don't.
We didn't really upload videos.
I bought a Google Fi SIM card, and that gave us some extra data along with my Canadian plan. So I had 2 phones that I was trying to milk the data out of. We were doing about 30 gigs plus per month and just burning through that so fast. So cell service, we needed it to upload. No, this is a fun, quick one I should have talked about. Cam saying, how did you capture the audio of you guys talking over the helicopter radio?
How did you?
Do you remember that?
I think you put a little mic.
What do you think, Janelle?
Yeah.
On me.
So, if it's your own helicopter and you have the gear, you can get like an audio splitter from the interface and record into it. I know that's what some of the helicopter channels do. But what I did is I just took a lav mic and put it into the ear cup of the headphone.
You're gonna see it pretty quick here. Look at that thing.
And so all the sound was coming from. So when I was talking into a mic, I hear that in my headset, and when everyone else is talking, and that's just like a quick go-to way to get it. And I literally just hit record on my camera and set it down on the bench next to me, and then I would pick it up and get shots with it, but keep it sat down, so that way anytime we would say like, oh wow, or something like that, I would capture it in the audio.
How are you going about running the Left Coast business while traveling?
We kind of were building up to this. Probably a year prior to our leave date, we started intentionally trying to scale back the productions that we were doing. And that meant, basically when I mean productions, I mean making a video for a client. So we were very deliberately not scheduling things during when we were going to be trying to build the van and also the summer after. And it's amazing how many things came up, but because we were so focused on this trip, we were just like, nope, it'll have to wait till after. Nope, it'll have to wait till after.
Yeah.
And maybe some of those projects will come through, maybe some of them won't, but yeah, we just said no.
Well, but how were you able to say no to all the client work? What was it that was like still fueling the business?
That's a great point. Some of those client projects that I'd done earlier, we were wrapping up during the build project. So I was editing some of them as we were building. And then also in the first months when we hit the road, I was editing some of those on the road. So the editing is a little bit easier to do on the road than actually shooting. And then also something that's a bit different this year in 2019 than any year previous is that 2019 is basically the first year that we've been making money from YouTube. So you'll notice things like our Squarespace ads, running our Patreon. We've basically been making it more reasonable to spend as much time as I have been spending on the YouTube videos. We have finally been actually doing some things to make that more practical, because I end up spending quite a bit of time working on the videos and I really enjoy it. And it's been cool this year being able to actually run it a little bit more as a business versus just running my production company.
And that part of the business you can take anywhere.
And that part of the business, yeah, that's just integrated straight into the videos.
Yeah.
So I'll have to do in my year in review, I'll have to figure out what the actual breakdown was of what the revenue was between all these things. Some people have left snarky comments in the vein of, oh, you're just doing the van life thing to capitalize on money. I don't actually know how that's going to shake out as far as I have a hard time picturing a scenario where these videos will make us more than we've put into the project. I'm trying to picture what would have to happen where it's like, wow, we're like
that was a really solid move
obviously we're just doing this because we really love it. And I can assure you it would be easier to not do the videos. Long term, across a decade period, I'll probably be super. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Basically, doing the van build series, doing 25 videos of that. If I have done, like, it's not like I made tons more money by doing 25 of them, and I had to spend so much more time doing that many. So maybe I shouldn't even have done 25. Maybe that's the moral of this video. But
should have done 2.
I don't. Maybe if there's some secret van life sponsors out there that are ready to dish out tons of money, or if we say the word van life in our videos enough, maybe YouTube will kick us up in ad revenue. In the past, I think we had mentioned that we had turned ads off in the past. We've turned ads back on. We kind of flip-flop on that a little bit, but at any time, if you have any questions, you can always ask. I'm totally open about what's going on here. So thank you. Appreciate all those questions. Some really wonderful things hearing from you. I'm relieved to be getting into the Alaska videos, and it's so much fun getting those out.
Super fun. I love watching them.
Janelle likes watching them.
Levi actually usually doesn't let me watch them until they're finished, which is a little bit painful because I can hear you editing them. I'm like, I just want to see. That's it. I had really shifty eyes going there.
So that is it.
That's it.
Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Remember, life's better when you make stuff.
Peace.